evening and welcome to the 31st induction ceremony for the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame. My name is Ron Beacom. I'm a member of the Midland Amateur Sports Capital Committee, and I'm retired and work in different things in communications around town. The first Hall class here was inducted in 1990. By my count, tonight's honorees, Eric Albright, Mitch Bone, Laura Crower, Wendell Dilling, Barry Winslow, and the Great Lakes Loons will join 171 individuals in 32 teams and organizations already in the Hall of Fame. So congratulations. If you're already a member of the Sports Hall of Fame, please stand or wave to be recognized. So please do that right now. Of course, you can see the Hall of Fame right here at Dow Diamond in the landing off the main concourse. Please walk through it after the ceremony tonight or anytime you're here for a Great Lakes Loons game or other community event. The hall was moved here in 2013 after it outgrew its space at the Midland Civic Arena. So you can see the plaques, display cases with memorabilia, and a touch screen where you can read the biographies of each member. The hall is probably the most visible initiative of the Midland Amateur Sports Capital Committee. We also annually award the Marsh Stanton Scholarship to a Midland County High School senior student athletes. We offer grants to local organizations staging athletic events. And for many years, we've hosted the sports luncheons featuring guest speakers. After a hiatus, we plan to bring those back this fall. So let me take a moment to recognize the leader of our merry band, Marcy Post, and other members of the committee here tonight. Please stand. Marcy, and other members of the committee. So here's tonight's agenda. In just a few minutes, it'll be time to eat dinner and get started on dessert. Then I'll give you a heads up again like I did this time to let you know when we're ready to start the induction ceremony. But first, we've asked Dave Marsh, a Hall of Fame member and a member of the committee, to offer a prayer and to honor someone who was very visible at this event over the past several years. Dave?
Thanks, Ron. So before our invocation, I thought it would be appropriate, or our committee did, to recognize an iconic figure in our community who served as host of this event for many years. Jerry O'Donnell, best known as the PA voice of the Loons, recently passed away after a near year-long bout with cancer. Jerry served as the PA announcer for the Loons since the start of the Loons organization back in 2007. And in addition, he was a familiar face and voice throughout the region. Not to mention, he was just a great human being. And so he would have loved to be part of the Loons being inducted into the Hall of Fame for sure. As he was one of the pillars of the organization, one of the faces of the organization for sure. So at this time, please join me in a moment of silence as we pay tribute to him and pray for peace for his family. Thank you. Okay, now please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we come to you today in gratitude for all our blessings, this beautiful facility, the food we're about to enjoy, and for the relationships in our lives. In particular, we thank you for all the inductees we get to honor tonight, the inductees that they will be joining in the Hall of Fame, and for those inductees who have passed away. All inductees, past and present, have meant so much to our amazing community. We thank you all for your passion and dedication in making our community the special place it is. Tonight, I pray tonight is a true blessing for all of our inductees who are being so honored. And thank you for the special gift that is this day that you have made. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, folks, let's get started. First, I need everybody to look up here. I'm just going to take a picture. I know Sandy's out taking pictures too, but everybody smile. No goofy faces, though. Okay. Thank you. And I'll get a shot of Sandy, too. Okay, a couple of comments as we get started. When the inductees, when I bring you up at the end of my description of you, your bio, we'll have you come up. Marcy Post, our leader, will hand you your plaque. We'll have a photo opportunity right up here, and then the podium will be yours. And then at the end, we'll get you all back together again for some more photos with Sandy. So thanks, Sandy. So, and wasn't it the conversation great tonight? I mean, at our table, we're talking about different things going on in terms of recreation in the area. I'm sure some old stories were being told. So we just live in a great community to hear all this type of stuff. And our recreation athletic community here is very vibrant. And we're hearing that's not the case in some communities around here. So we're fortunate to live here. So we're inducting our 5 individual members of the Sports Hall of Fame in alphabetical order. Our first honoree is Eric Albright, baseball coach and athletic director at Midland High School, home of the Chemics. Now, Eric's a native of Minnesota, so he's a fan of the Twins and Vikings. One team's had more success more than ours lately. He's a graduate of Royalton High School, home of the Royals, where he played football, basketball, and baseball, and Hamlin University, home of the Pipers, where he played baseball. He has a master's degree from CMU. One nugget I came across, Eric was a professional baseball umpire in the Gulf Coast League in 1997 before he came to Midland. Now, Eric first served as a classroom teacher at Midland High starting in '97. He became the varsity baseball coach in 2003. 20 plus years later, he now has over 500 wins, which is the all-time record for wins for a Chemics baseball coach. So congratulations, Eric. His teams have won 7 Saginaw Valley League titles, 4 district titles, and reached the state semifinals in 2018. He was inducted into the Michigan High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame last year. Now, Eric has served as the athletic director at Midland High since 2010 and now also serves as one of the assistant principals there. Sports added in his tenure include lacrosse and bowling. And I've heard Eric personally talk about how sports get kids, students more interested and engaged in their school and their studies. I think it's fair to say that an athletic director has a challenging job juggling the interests and needs of the students, players, coaches, officials, parents, booster clubs, school administrators, facilities and ground staff, media, right, Eric, and individuals and organizations in the community. In addition to those roles, Eric is currently serving as president of the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. The Michigan High School Athletic Association, the MHSAA, as we know it by, named him one of their Allen W. Bush Meritorious Award recipients last year, recognizing his many efforts over the years. So congratulations. And Midland has hosted many major MHSAA events under Eric's watch. So it's our pleasure to welcome Eric Albright tonight into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame.
Ready? Thank you. Let's pin this for you.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks a lot. Oof. Thank you, Ron, for the introduction. Your compliments are further evidence that of the old adage, don't let the truth get in the way of a good story, right? So there are 2 compliments that a baseball coach that can receive that outweigh any other. The first is your team plays the game the right way. The second is your field looks great. As I have both given and received those compliments over the years, they are not given flippantly. They are merely outward signs of a deeper commitment and investment in one's program. I am grateful that my predecessor and Hall of Famer in his own right, Terry Wilczek, demonstrated each day what it looked like to invest in your program. For years, I've admired the investment that Mitch Bone has made in his own programs, and as being Mr. Sanford in his community, I'm honored to share the room with him today as he set the standard in our region for dedication and professionalism. I am just the 6th athletic director at Midland High School since 1945. Every day, I feel a strong sense of duty to maintain that standard of professionalism and excellence set forth by my chemic predecessors. I want to mention also my mentor administrators in the Midland community, such as Bill Mick, Dan McShannock, and certainly Bob Scurfield, who have paved the way and been great mentors to me over the last 10 years. As Ron said, I believe in the values of educational athletics. The benefit of the individual of a robust co-curricular program in our schools are well documented. The values learned in the playing field: set goals, endure, take criticism, risks, become team players, use their beliefs, stay healthy, and deal with stress, prepare us for life. Do not sell short, however, the importance and power of a healthy school sports program to benefit the entire community. Try to think for a moment for any other institution that can rally people from all walks of life from around a single cause at a central location with a common language and culture. It's really hard to do in the year 2024. There's no greater satisfaction that I have as an athletic administrator than to shut the lights off following a Midland Dow football Friday night, featured hundreds of students on our band, on our football team, our cheer team, our POM, the students in the stands, the spectators consisting of alumni, community members, and just general interested people. Americans do sports differently in schools. We do it differently than anybody else in the world. We have done so for decades. The MHSAA, for example, will celebrate its 100th anniversary this coming school year. However, the future of educational athletics is not guaranteed. It's under regular attack by those who want to monetize and perpetuate a toxic youth sports culture. Educational athletics needs to adapt with time, but the hallmarks, the pillars that have given us 100 years of success need to have their champions. Some will say that I'm foolish to push against the tide of momentum ready to swamp us any day now. I may be naive to believe that there are others out there who are like-minded and do not see school sports as an antiquated model. I am, however, brave enough to profess the lifelong benefit of an educational-based athletic program and advocate for its rightful place in society. I want to make sure I thank some individuals in the room. Like a turtle on the fence post, he didn't get there by himself. A couple of individuals, great friends. Bobby Lanning, been together for a long time. I really appreciate you being a good friend. And my wife Monique, who is an invested educator in his own right, and I would dare say she is way better at her job than I am at mine. When you're coaching baseball for 23 years, it means you're not doing something else. And a lot of those times were, instead of the 4th of July fireworks with the Albright family, I was dragging an infield at the Gabby Mills tournament. Instead of Memorial Day at a lake or at a pool, right, we were playing Grand Ledge. and I know that was oftentimes hard for her and her family, and I really appreciate her by my side these 23 years. So thank you, Monique. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations to the rest of the inductees.
Thank you, Eric. Congratulations. Our second honoree is Mitch Bone, basketball coach and athletic director at Meridian Early College High School. Mitch is a graduate of Freeland High School, where he earned all-state honors in football, all-area in basketball, and a scholarship to play baseball at Central Michigan University. He was recognized as the Midland Daily News Football Player of the Year in 1982. At CMU, he started as a third baseman, where he helped the Chippewas baseball team earn 5 NCAA appearances and 5 Mid-American Conference championships. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in mathematics, and he later earned a master's at CMU. Mitch's first head coaching job in varsity basketball was at Iona Prep in New Rochelle, New York. A few years later, he came back to Michigan in 1997 to coach basketball at Meridian, serve as the AD, and as a teacher. His Mustangs have won 13 Jack Pine Conference championships, 14 district titles, and 3 regional crowns. His teams have tallied 437 wins with Meridian. Mitch has also coached JV baseball and football. Like Eric at Midland High, Mitch juggles many interests as the athletic director. Meridian recently hosted the girls' basketball regionals, which included the home team. Mitch also serves as the Dean of Student Support. Early college high school principal Scott Lefevre recently publicly thanked Mitch for making him a better coach and administrator, as well as guiding him on how to have those critical conversations with students. It's our pleasure to welcome Mitch Bone tonight into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame.
Thanks, Ron. Congratulations. Thanks, Ron. Well, seeing that Eric has the MHSAA advertised very well, I can skip that part. Thank you, Eric. I first would like to thank the Midland County Hall of Fame for their time and effort to recognize athletics in Midland County. Athletics is very important for our youth, and to recognize it helps. Special thanks goes to Mark Jungle with an assist to Derek Fillmore for nominating me. I want to offer congrats to the other inductees. I want to thank Eric Albright, a colleague and a true professional, always promoting educational athletics and a true steward of the MHSAA. You'd have thought I'd have listened to him and then said that. Nope, I wrote that earlier. But what I really want to thank Eric Albright for is not firing my good friend Eric Krause. I don't know how the hell you didn't fire him. So the short, angry, I won't say it, Catholic, you didn't ever fire him. So I know some of the stories, Eric. So, what about the time they win the game, but Krause is calling out the coach's dad and says, let's go to the parking lot? What about that game? And then there's a kid on his team, Stereo, Double Bird, the student section of the opposing team, happens to have the last name of the coach. What about that game? You had to be shaking your head as you're walking down the hallway the next day. But earlier in his career, again, he's trying to fight an opposing dad. What is going on? Oh, well, I closed the gap. Why'd you close the gap? Well, he's a lot bigger than me. I need to hit him. And then the next day, he's in your office going, hey, Albright, you just don't get it. I'm like, Krause, what don't you get? He's your boss. You're in his office yelling, and you just don't get it. You close the gap after the game to fight a guy, and he doesn't get it. Thank you, Eric Albright. Kraus, you're an idiot. Here, here. So it all started for me in Freeland. I grew up with my two brothers and my mom and dad. Grew up with a lot of love and opportunity. My dad was athletic, extremely competitive, and had a hot temper. Which sounds like someone I know. My mom did the mom things. You know, she cooked, cleaned, worked, taxi. She was always there for us, providing love and opportunities, never enabling us, nor did my dad. One day when I was about 5 years old, I thought it'd be a good idea to throw stones at passing cars. Why wouldn't you do that? I figure. So I hit a car, I run inside. I don't want him to know that I did it. Next thing I know, there's a cop car in the driveway. How? A cop car? We don't have cell phones. How's there a cop car in the driveway? Well, the car drove down the road and saw this cop, waved him over, and said, I got hit by a stone by this house. So the cop car's in the driveway, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm petrified. I'm inside. And I'm looking at Mom saying, don't let him take me to jail. I'm 5. I think I'm going to jail. And so the officer comes to the door, tells my mom that he was down the road where the car waved him over, and proceeded to tell him the story that he got hit by a stone from someone at this house. I'm sitting there looking at Mom going, come on, tell him nobody here did it. She goes, she says, nope, points at me and says, there he is, take him to jail. 5 years old, fucking A. I'm like, I go, what happened here, Mom? We got nothing going on. So then there's the story of I kicked off the bus. I swear I didn't do it. I swear I didn't do it. So I tell my dad, I said, Dad, I didn't do it. He says, so there's about 40 kids on the bus and she picks you out. But you didn't do anything. And then he walks away. And I learned early in my life, tough love, not enabling. We need to do more parenting like that. Thanks, Mom. I thought I got my competitiveness and my toughness from my dad, but at an early age, Mom had a lot to do with it. My freshman year at Freeland, there was no sub-varsity sports because they cut budget. I'm a whopping 5'6", 130 pounds at the time. And I'm at the dinner table. It's like August, and I'm going, you know what? I'm not going to go out for football. There's no JV. Those big kids on the varsity are going to pound me to the ground. And I'm thinking, you know, that's no problem. I'll just go to the gym after school and work on my game for hoops and try to make the basketball team. My mom says, you're playing football. My mom said that. And so I look over at Dad for some help. Nope, doesn't even look up. Just keeps pounding the potatoes and the pork chops. I'm like, oh, so I played football. Thanks again, Mom. You were always there. Best mom ever. Playing football with my brother was very interesting. My Hall of Fame brother, Steve. He would antagonize the opponent by giving him the business at the bottom of the piles. Not a big deal unless you're the quarterback with the same last name. Everyone hated me before I was me. I did earn a lot of that hate on my own, but I was always worried about the bottom of those piles. I got a lot of hate early. After high school, I attended CMU and played baseball. I have a lot of great memories with those years, along with great friends. We still communicate and get together all the time. While I was there, I learned what it felt like to sit the bench. My first year, I was redshirted. My second year, I got 5 at-bats. This experience has helped me better understand the feelings of a bench player, someone that's not getting the play time, and I think it's really helped me as a coach. After college, I got married to my lovely wife, Keely. We moved out to the New York City area and spent 7 years out there. Our first child was born, Maddie, and we decided to move home, and our home became Sanford. Soon, we had our second child, Brett, and we've been living in Sanford ever since. Like Eric alluded to, being a coach and AD is very challenging for a family. You spend many days at school from 8 a.m. to 9 at night. My mother-in-law was at the house a lot, taking care of the kids while I was out coaching or administrating, and Keely was directing plays at CMU, as she is the chair of the theater and dance department at CMU. At one point, I thought about giving up the AD job and just teaching, going to the classroom full time. I'd be home more. So I ran it by Keely and I said, I think I'm just going to give up being the AD. I go, what do you think of that? She goes, you have to be the AD. I'm like, why? Of course I asked why. She goes, have you ever seen yourself coach on the sidelines? You're going to get fired. Thanks. Thank you for the advice. So why Meridian? So I came home looking for a job, and they were looking for a head basketball coach, and I'd already started coaching out in New York, and so I had some experience. And Doug Fillmore was, I think, working at Dow High at the time, and I knew Doug, and he was telling me about Meridian. I knew Doug from playing ball with him with the Midland Explorers. And he told me about the job, and he told me about his son. His son, he goes, Derek will play at Dow his freshman year, junior, JV at Dow his freshman year, and varsity at Meridian his freshman year, if Meridian gets a coach that I think doesn't suck. So I thought, well, if Derek's anything like his uncle and his dad, we should be pretty good. We should be able to win some games in the Jack Pine Conference. So Derek and I have been together ever since. We won a lot of games when he played. My first 4 years at Meridian, he was on the team. We won a regional his senior year, and he's been assisting me as a coach essentially ever since his playing days were over at Northwood. I really value his friendship, and with all the Fillmores, I value their friendship. It means a lot to me. Not only did I have his friendship, but his coaching ability is excellent. He's great with relationship with the players. He has that former scholarship college player credential, and he's got great in-game advice as well as player development in season and out. Our program wouldn't be as successful without him. Thank you, Derek. I've been fortunate to coach a lot of great players at Meridian, kids that play ball for their school in front of the Bone Zone. I believe the atmosphere that we have created at Meridian is special, and our kids appreciate it. From the pep band rocking the house to the Bone Zone chatting your name like Numbo, Numbo. It's special. I'm proud of that, what we have created at Meridian. I tell our kids, don't take this for granted. This atmosphere doesn't happen everywhere. Probably the most special thing about being at Meridian was watching my kids grow up. When my kids entered high school, it was like, take your kids to work day every day. I had Brett and Maddie both in math classes. I got to coach Brett. Coaching Brett was great because he was a really good player and a great teammate. As good a teammate as I've ever coached. And we won a lot of games. And I'm proud of both of my kids. Maddie is living in New York City, and the saying, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. That is true. Just even up the damn steps to get your apartment. Brett is pursuing his master's degree in counseling and at CMU, and maybe going to school counseling and maybe be a basketball coach, or probably basketball. I think he'd be a really good coach. He understands people and has some great life experiences which would allow him to have empathy for athletes. One of the things I'm most proud of, though, at Meridian is when I showed up in 1997, the high school was not well thought of. People that are in this area know what I'm talking about. Athletics were bad except for spring sports. There wasn't much pride in anything. We had faculty members that thought our kids weren't as capable as Midland kids. That has all changed. Athletics is a big part of that. We have great facilities, great coaches, and some community support. We have a great academic. One of the coaches that we have is a friend of mine, Coach Mike Baby Maker Belena, our football coach and state champion. I'm surprised he could be here. I thought he'd have to be at a soccer event or even better, a travel baseball game. He complains all the time about how his kids take up his weekends and how stupid it is and how much it sucks. Yet he keeps making babies. So after his fourth child, I said, Mike, you know how this happens, right? He goes, yeah, but I don't tell Kelly. That's his wife. Nothing. I look at Kelly, I go, what do you see in him? She goes, he makes me laugh. Out-punted your coverage, buddy? Yeah, that's where the phrase came from. No question. Where am I now? Where am I? I know I'm killing it, but where am I? Our academic leadership, talked about athletics, our academic leadership is great at the school. We have teachers that care. They collaborate. Our principal, Scott Lefevre, was mentioned before. Thanks for the nice words, Scott. Is an academic leader, a former football coach, special ed director, social studies teacher. He's worn a lot of hats, and I appreciate his leadership and support. We're in a good place with him. So to close, I know there's others back there that I'd like to, roast on, but I don't have all the time in the world. To close, I'd just like to say thanks to all my friends for showing up and supporting me. Thank you, Midland County Hall of Fame.
Later this evening, we'll offer time for rebuttals.
That'll be a beat-up.
Our third inductee is Laura Crower, one of the premier triathletes in the country. Laura is a Midland High graduate, later earning her bachelor's degree from Ferris State, and then a doctorate in physical therapy from CMU. She's a physical therapist and certified strength and conditioning specialist at My Michigan Health. Laura's also earned her triathlon coaching certification from USA Triathlon. She's got quite the resume in her athletic career. She was a swimmer and softball player for the Chemics, earning first team all SVL as a swimmer. She was all league twice and was named team MVP in softball her senior year. She was selected for the Midland Daily News softball dream team for her sophomore through senior seasons, where she pitched, she played infield and outfield. Laura also played softball at Ferris State, first base, earning all GLIAC honors in 2 seasons. But now we'll focus on her career as a triathlete. She began to dabble in triathlons during PT school. A reminder, triathlons involve swimming, biking, and running. These folks are true athletes. After graduation, she competed in her first Olympic distance, half Ironman, and Ironman triathlons in her first 3 race seasons. Now remember, Ironman is a 2.4-mile swim, 112-mile bike ride, and 26.2-mile run, a marathon. Laura has now competed in 70 multi-sports events. She won her division for 7 straight years in the Clydesdale and Athena National Championships from 2015 to 2022 in the age 39 and under category. The Clydesdale competition, for some background, is for men, while the Athena is for women, both over a certain weight when they advertise it. Laura plans to keep racing in the 40 to 59 category. Her goal is to race a full iron distance event every decade. She's gotten her mother Mel and her sister Tara involved, participating in several events over the years. Mom's a well-known volleyball official and softball umpire here in Midland. So it's our pleasure to welcome Laura Crower tonight into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Laura.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Well, that's an act to follow. I'm not comfortable talking about my accomplishments. I'm not comfortable with others talking about my accomplishments. I'd rather talk about the great things that others make happen. But nonetheless, here we are. So what I would like to talk about is how we would not be here today without the road paved by our coaches, our mentors, our families, and our teammates. Not that long before my time, my mom was on the front edge of Title IX. Mom and her generation allowed me and millions of other American girls take softball practice and swim meets for granted, although I don't think she appreciated it when I took softball practice for granted when she was my coach. In the 50 years since Title IX has passed, female participation in NC2A sports has increased from 16 to 44%. Females are stepping into and shining in male-dominated fields like officiating and head coaching. Megan Rapinoe and the U.S. women's soccer team have shown us that women can make the same wage as men, Caitlin Clark has shown us that female athletics can be exciting to watch, an ideal that was laughed at not that long ago. It's exciting to imagine what the next generation of girls will accomplish standing on the shoulders of these giants. At 5 years old, I followed my older sister into competitive swimming. I looked up to her and wanted to do absolutely everything she did, thus developing my lifelong love of racing in the water. She even held a record at Midland High, a feat I never duplicated. Whenever I need the reminder, she's there to tell me that we can do all things through Christ. In 2004, my dad was inducted into this Hall of Fame as a member of a dominant city football team. After his induction, Mom and Dad still made the second game of my doubleheader in Big Rapids that night. My family has supported me in every endeavor. I can't tell you how many pitches I bounced off his shins in the backyard growing as a pitcher. I can count on one hand the number of athletic events that Mom and Dad missed through my high school and college career. I don't see my dad crying very often, so this is hard. Mom and Dad pushed me to practice hard, even when I wanted to goof off. They taught me to respect coaches and officials, and they supported me even when the only thing they knew about triathlon was how boring it is to sit around and wait until the next time your athlete buzzes by. From the day we met, my husband has been an example of consistency and hard work. He has been my steadfast supporter and a willing race Sherpa. He lets me chase him on the bike to become a stronger rider, and he pushes me in the pool to stay ahead of him because it's the only discipline where I can still win against him. He gets that training for these races is a full-time job, and he's always there to help me balance it all. Through the years, there have been a lot of teammates who have shared the miles, the yards, and all the ways we spend our time to become better athletes. They've been there with a hug after a tough game or a tough race. They've been there with a "shut up, you're fine" when my legs are whining, pushing me to finish the run hard. I know through the years racing at nationals, there have been a lot of people at home cheering me towards the finish line. None of us would be where we are today without the example, the support, and the love of our teams, the ones we're born into and the ones we choose. Thank you to all of my teammates.
Thank you and congratulations. Quick notes to share. I want to thank Dow Diamond for hosting this event, Dave Gamola and his crew for putting on our meal, Midland Community Television volunteers Jim Malik and John McPeak for recording this for viewing on MCTV's channels and online. Contact MCTV to buy a copy, and to QRP, Quick Reliable Printing, for their donation of your program. And in your program, you'll see the Sports Capitals Committee's web address where you can find the Hall of Fame bios online. Please check out our recently redone website. And for our MCTV viewers, that web address will be put on your screen. And also in the program, you'll find a mailing address if you'd like to send in a contribution to support our committee's scholarship program. So a little housekeeping there. Our fourth inductee tonight is Wendell Dilling, a standout in the Senior Olympics track and field competitions and in bicycle racing. Wendell's a graduate from Central High School in North Manchester, Indiana. I looked it up online. It's west of Fort Wayne. He earned degrees from Manchester College and Purdue University. He was a research chemist at Dow and a research associate at CMU. In athletics, Wendell is a 2020 inductee of the Michigan Senior Olympics Hall of Fame. He won 155 MSO medals, 23 gold, 60 silver, and 72 bronze. Congratulations, impressive. He set state records in the hammer throw and triple jump. In 2007, at the National Senior Games, he competed in all 13 track and field events: discus, javelin, hammer, high jump, long jump, triple jump, pole vault, and running events of 100, 200, 400, 800, and 1,500 meters, winning 7th in the hammer and 8th in the triple jump in the age 70 to 74 category. He's earned 5 ribbons at the National Senior Games. And in 2021, Wendell's final year of competition at the Michigan Senior Olympics at the age of 85, he won 11 medals. On his bicycle, he won the 1988 Michigan National 24-Hour Challenge with a distance of 307 miles. Wendell's been an advocate for non-motorized transportation here in Midland and has led bike rides for over 50 years. So it's our pleasure to welcome Wendell Dilling tonight into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame. Gonna get a picture with you, Wendell. Go ahead. Here, I'll take this. You take your cane.
We're gonna stop it right there. I will put this on the table for you.
Congratulations, Wendell.
Thank you. I appreciate receiving this Midland County Sports Hall of Fame.
One moment, let me tilt this down for you.
Thank you.
There you go.
I appreciate receiving this Midland County Sports Hall of Fame recognition. I'd like to thank the selection committee for selecting me. My next thank you would have to be to the person who is most responsible for my being able to be here today. That is my wife, Marcia. I would also like to thank those responsible for my being nominated to the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame. Larry Piper, who made the original nomination, Rebecca Weiland, my neighbor, who supported my nomination and who also nominated me for the Michigan Senior Olympics Hall of Fame in 2020, and is a member of the MSO Hall of Fame herself. And Becky Ridke, who also supported my nomination and is the executive director of the MSO. I should also thank the people who coached me in high school and college, and the volunteers at the Michigan Senior Olympics who made it possible for me to participate. Larry Levine from Central Michigan University helped me learn how to throw the hammer, which I had never done before. I would also like to thank the people of Midland County who hosted the 2001 and 2002 MSO here in Midland, especially George Rapp, a 2016 inductee of the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame, who helped bring the MSO to Midland. It was those games that were responsible for my getting started in Senior Olympics. In 2001, the first year the MSO was held in Midland, I attended the games as a spectator. I had heard about Senior Olympics, but did not know much about them. I thought they were rather high caliber competitions, and they are in some events, in some locations, but not all. I saw that maybe I could be competitive in some events. So the next year, at age 66, I entered 3 events: shot put, discus, and javelin. The only 3 events I had any competition experience in. I had competed in these events in high school and college. I was overweight then. Those were the only events that I could do very well in. I could not run very fast. I could not jump very high or far. I won 1 medal in those games, a silver medal in the discus. Senior Olympics is for men and women age 50 and over. Competitions are held in 5-year intervals, so you are competing against those approximately the same age. In that first competition, I saw that in some events and in some age groups, there were very few entrants. So I decided to enter all the track and field events in my age group, which was 65 to 69. By that time, I had lost a lot of weight and could run somewhat faster. I won a gold medal in the pole vault. I was the only entrant in the pole vault. I also won silver medals in the high jump and 200-meter dash, and bronze medals in the 800-meter and 1,500-meter runs. I didn't win any medals in the throwing events, the ones that I had competed in previously. So with this turn of events, I continued to enter all the track and field and running events. In junior high and high school, I had tried to do some of these other events, so I knew a little about technique in the other events and could do them without injuring myself. I continued to enter all the track and field events until my health gave out a couple years ago. As of 2021, as you heard in the introduction, I had won 155 total medals. I'm also being recognized for bicycle racing, which I think I have actually excelled in more than in the MSO track and field events. However, this was done at a younger age, 50, than the MSO competitions. My most significant effort, as you also heard, was riding 307 miles in 24 hours in the Michigan National 24-Hour Challenge, which is a little bit crazy to be riding a bicycle in the middle of the night, which is what you have to do that. In closing, let me congratulate the others recognized here today: Eric, Mitch, Laura, Barry, and the Loons. Thank you.
Thank you, Wendell. Thank you, Wendell, and again, congratulations. Our fifth and final individual inductee is Barry Winslow, an elite short track speed skater. Short track involves races of different lengths, including 500 meters, 1,000, 1,500, and 3,000. When Barry and I chatted today, he estimated they skated about 30 miles per hour at what I'll call cruising speed. Barry's a native of Midland, but at age 16, he became a full-time resident at the United States Olympic Education Center, the USOEC, at Northern Michigan University in Marquette, my alma mater. He was on the short track speed skating team. He graduated from Marquette Senior High School and earned his bachelor's degree in electronic journalism from NMU and later a master's from Saginaw Valley. Barry now works in sales and marketing for Peninsula Fiber Network in Marquette, a fiber optic telecommunications provider. Barry got his start skating with the renowned Midland Speed Skating Club, which has launched many athletic careers. For Barry, it's genetic. His dad, Wayne, finished as the runner-up in the Michigan Speed Skating Competition and served as the Midland Speed Skating Club president. Barry got started at age 7. In 2 years, he would go on to win several state titles, set several state records, and reach the podium at national championships. While at the USOEC, Barry competed in the 2006 and 2010 Olympic trials and was ranked in the top 16 in the country in the USA short track speed skating standings for 5 straight seasons. At the time he retired from speed skating in 2012, Barry ranked 11th in the nation. On the academic front, Barry earned a full-ride scholarship to Northern, awarded to Olympic training athletes, and he was a 5-time recipient of their academic team award. It's our pleasure to welcome Barry Winslow tonight into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame.
Congratulations, Barry. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. No pressure. First off, I just want to say thank you to the Hall of Fame and the selection committee for this wonderful honor, and thank you for highlighting the positivity in athletics for all folks that get involved in athletics. It's very important, so it's greatly appreciated. I am truly humbled and incredibly grateful to be inducted into this prestigious and honorable class, the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame class of 2024, for my athletic career in speed skating. This event, this moment, this induction, it holds great significance and is very touching and meaningful to me. I will always be proud of this induction and hold it near and dear to my heart. Also, congratulations to the other inductees this evening. What a wonderful honor. To think that what started back in 1997, when I was just a 7-year-old boy who, with assistance from my father, laced up a pair of speed skates for the very first time, would eventually lead to this honor and designation, I'd say you're crazy. I still catch myself softly chuckling from time to time in sheer disbelief of everything. There is no easy way to start an athletic Hall of Fame induction speech, let alone attempt to summarize the monumental ups and trying downs of a 15-year career in short track speed skating. Still, I couldn't have dreamt up a more perfect tribute to that special time in my life than this induction. And to see the plaques of the other inductees, wow, this is a really big class, so what a true honor this really is. All right, so the sport of speed skating. Short track speed skating is an individual sport. It's just you hurling yourself around the hairpin turns of a 111-meter oval track, skating at nearly 30 miles per hour, pulling nearly 2 Gs of gravitational force at the apex of a corner, leaning over at what seems like impossible angles on a set of razor-sharp 17.5-inch metal blades that are precision bent, attached to custom-molded carbon fiber racing boots. The trick is to cleanly, efficiently, and effectively maneuver yourself around the track and the other skaters hurling themselves around the same hairpin turns to cross the finish line in first place and win the race. The best way to describe the sport is controlled chaos. Short track is the perfect combination of fast twitch muscle, slow twitch muscle, and the muscle that sits in between your ears. It requires grace, control, endurance, determination, split-second decision-making, focus, and more than anything, a whole lot of training and really good technique. I know that I am biased, but I truly believe that speed skating, and especially short track speed skating, is one of the most physically and technically demanding sports on the face of the earth, and one of the most difficult sports to master and be consistently dominant at the highest level. To say that short track is not an addictive adrenaline rush is to utter a massive lie. To describe that adrenaline rush and that feeling going around those corners at those speeds, speed skating, honest to God, feels like you're flying. Where every 4.5 seconds or so, when you round the corner, your stomach goes up into your chest, and there's a split second of weightlessness. It's heaven. And I chased that heavenly feeling for 15 years. The very beginning of my journey predates me even stepping on the ice. Growing up in a house where the major sporting event on TV was the NASCAR race every Sunday, I fell in love with the thought of going fast on a track. I loved watching the cars race around the track and was fascinated with the rate of speed in which they traveled. I watched intently at a very young age how the drivers would get in the draft. They'd conserve their equipment for the very end of the race, and how they would set up and complete successful passes around their competitors. To me, it wasn't about the crashes. It was the art of racing. That was all I needed to see. I wanted to race, and I wanted to go really fast. Being that I was far too young to drive, my dad, who was a speed skater himself, and a pretty damn good one, I might add, he introduced me to the sport of speed skating at a very young age. It was as if the love of the sport was already in my blood. In terms of stepping on the ice, my 15-year speed skating career began right here in downtown Midland at the old Central Park Ice Arena off George and Reardon Streets. I am proud to say I was a member of the Midland Speed Skating Club. Our skating practices took place on Monday and Wednesday evenings. I had fond memories of leaving the house I grew up in on Coolidge Drive and hopping in Dad's truck or the minivan with Mom and heading to practice. Dad would get me dressed and ensure my skates were tightened just right before taking the ice. The practices were so fun. It was also such a joy to skate alongside my father and have my grandma Rachel sitting in the stands and watching on. While she was around, she never missed a practice of mine, let alone a competition. It was out of these practices, which were very fun but also very hard work, that I first became cognitively aware of the slight separation between fun and games and the fun that could be had in focusing on the task in hand. I wanted to go to practice because it was fun to skate, but it was also fun to work on improving and getting better. I always wanted to push myself to go faster. Local competitions around the Midland area, like those in town and around Bay City, soon led to traveling with family across the state of Michigan to skating meets in Alpena, Petoskey, Grayling, Sault Ste. Marie, Metro Detroit, and eventually throughout the Midwest and even into Canada. I continued to perform well against skaters in my age class and even set a few records along the way. To help aid in my development, Dad would occasionally sign me up to compete against skaters in the next age group up. And he always encouraged me to skate in ability meets, especially in Canada, where skaters were grouped based on seed times versus their age. This always promoted more competitive racing, and it leveled the playing field. I needed to get beat every now and again, and that was a good way to train me. After the first few years of skating, I started training off ice, beginning with dry land practice on Tuesday and Thursday nights in the gymnasium at Carpenter Street School right here in Midland. Plyometrics, balance drills, dry skating, slide board, and basic position drills that increased overall fitness, with a special focus on proper skating technique, substantially bettered my performance during these early years. Because of these skating and dry land practices, coupled with long-distance running in the off-season, I began to perform increasingly well at age group national championships and North American championships each year. But what I remember most from this time wasn't so much these competitions or how I placed, but rather the company and time spent with family on our travels to competitions across the country. Going out to eat at restaurants, the countless nights running the halls and the hotel rooms with the other skaters, listening to music in the van as we traveled here and there, and even crossing Lake Michigan on the SS Badger or enjoying authentic Italian meals in the Little Italy neighborhood of downtown Cleveland. Oh man, how special these countless memories are to me. As I grew into my early to mid-teens, I started making time cuts in time trials at nationally sanctioned speed skating events, so slowly advancing out of age group competitions to compete against skaters that I idolized as a kid. No longer was I skating against those my age, but rather those who were at or above my ability. This advancement into the next level, competing against the country's most elite skaters, brought a really stark reality. Winning races became a rarity. There's an old saying in short track, the faster you get, the more you lose. In pursuit of being the greatest at whatever you're passionate about, you are forced to compete against those who are great to get there. Whether you make it to the top or not, there is always someone just as hungry for it as you. So you have to keep your head down, stay humble, and put in the work to pick off whoever is next in front of you. That was always my mentality. I had to shift from analyzing race results to focusing on my technique and bettering my personal best times. At 16, I received a phone call that would ultimately shape the trajectory of the most successful period in my skating career. On the line was Tricia Stennis, a 1992 Winter Olympian and assistant coach at the U.S. Olympic Education Center speed skating team in Marquette, Michigan. She was offering to me an invitation to become a full-time resident athlete at the Education Center based on Northern Michigan University's campus. Along with the offer was the opportunity to pursue my education, allowing me to change high schools and eventually attend college with a full ride scholarship to NMU. This was hard on Mom and Dad. I remember when I was leaving, in the rearview mirror, just 6 months after I got my driver's license. That's when I packed up and moved to Marquette to train year-round at the USOEC. And I left them with tears in their eyes, but I knew that it was the right decision to make. I would go on to live on NMU's campus and solely dedicate my time to training 2 to 3 times a day, 6 days a week, in pursuit of my dream to become an Olympian while also earning a college degree. Having direct access to state-of-the-art training facilities, Olympic coaching, a full medical staff housed at a sports medicine center, and a roster of elite skaters as my teammates. This is when my performance made yet another leap. At this time, I had attained a top 16 ranking in the country, and I continued to rank well at American Cup events, junior and then senior trials, national championships, and North American championships. As a resident member of the USOEC short track team from 2006 to 2012, I was able to continually improve my times and rankings in the American Cup standings with each skating season and qualify for 2 Olympic trials for the 2006 and 2010 Winter Olympic Games, and compete against some of the best speed skaters in the country, with a career-high ranking of 11th in the United States. In addition, I was able to graduate with my bachelor's degree from NMU with a full scholarship. Go Wildcats. I consider my collegiate athletic experience a unique blessing, and I am incredibly honored to say that I am an NMU and USOEC alum. Although I never competed in the Olympic Games themselves, my skating journey was fulfilling beyond measure. Performing well and receiving trophies and accolades is great, but my skating career was so much more than that. The travels near and far, the elite competitors and teammates that have now become my lifelong brothers, the family and friends that supported me through everything, the countless memories of the moments on and off the ice, and more than anything, the life lessons that speed skating has taught me. That is what it's all about. And I wouldn't have changed a thing. I have 0 regrets. I get asked now and then, Barry, why did you do it? Of all things, why speed skating? Simply put, I speed skated because I fell in love with how it made me feel. I love the feeling of speed skating, and it was flat out fun to go really fast. And when someone is encouraged to chase after something without reservation that is also their greatest passion, the opportunities for success are endless. Very early on, I realized I was in control of my destiny. I told my dad at age 10 that I wanted to go to the Olympics in speed skating. My sights were set. There was no question about what I wanted to do, how far I wanted to go, and what I was willing to sacrifice to get there. Standing here today, I realize I was unique, but not all that unique in my dedication. There are athletes from nearly every small town in America who are like me in their will and determination to succeed. But what I did have that others like me did not was the most supportive and positive network of people I could ever ask for to encourage me, coach me, and keep me going in the right direction. That is unbelievably rare. What's special is that a good chunk of these people are in the crowd here tonight. You know who you are, and there is no way I could have ever gotten where I did without every one of you. Earlier, I mentioned short track speed skating is an individual sport. Although the discipline is indeed an individualized effort, it takes a huge team of dedicated, loyal, smart, disciplined, hardworking, talented, and loving people to help athletes like me achieve their loftiest of goals. That said, there is no better time than now to thank the long list of people who were in my corner and helped me throughout my entire speed skating journey. First, thank you to Richie Waite, my sponsor for this induction and member of the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame class in 1995. This honor wouldn't be possible without your efforts, support, encouragement, and generosity. Thank you, Richie. To my coaches, Beth Huff-Jurgensmeyer, who is in the crowd tonight and totally surprised me. Beth, thank you for being here. To my coaches, Gary Westendorf, Tricia Stennis-Menhenick, Jimmy Jang, Janos Englert, and Tony Goskowitz. The hours you put into coaching and pushing me to be the best I could be are innumerable. Thank you is not enough. To other Michigan speed skating parents and supporters of the sport at the grassroots level, the most important level, who cheered for me along the way and helped me to grow the sport, including Dick Smith and the Smith family, the Jurgensmeyer Bedford family, the Bedoin family, the Shield family, the Perry family, the Berg family, the Burton family, the Weaver family, the Corman family, the Russell family, the Hotchkiss family, the Renshaw family, the Hayes and Mick Phillips families, the Walker family, the Donahue family, the Izakowski family, the Behe family, the Chartier family, the Skrocky family, the Mitchell family, the Samolsky family, the Kressler family, and the Affolter family. Thank you for your support, and those that I may have missed, you know who you are, and I thank you too. To my sponsor, Gar Winslow and the Eastman Party Store here in Midland. Gar, your contributions over the years that aided in helping to pay for travel and equipment will never go unnoticed, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was an honor to have your business's logo on my racing suit all those years. Thank you so much. To the medical staff, doctors, and therapists who help heal me and keep me safe throughout my entire career, including Dr. John Murphy, Dr. Dave Donahue, Peter Toohey, Colby Lash, and Dr. Heather Dermeyer. Thank you for all that you did and continue to do for athletes competing at the highest levels. To my old teammates, my brothers from the USOEC and beyond, thank you for pushing me and motivating me to be the best I could be and being there when things didn't go as planned on and off the ice. You know who you are, way to represent the USA, and I love you all. To my ride or die fans, my cheering section at all those skating meets, Kelly, Amy, Kimmy, Doug and Helen, Dean and Mary, Dallas and Kat, Keith and Marcy, Mallory, Brooke, my sister Alyssa, Grandma Jane and Grandpa Herb, and the rest of the Winslow clans. Wow. Thank you for being the most loving, dedicated, caring, supportive, and loud cheering section in the stands. You rock, and I love you all to death. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. To two ultra special supporters of mine who were there from the very start and are cheering for me tonight up in heaven, the best seat in the house, Grandma Rachel and Uncle Frank. There is no possible way to describe how much I love and appreciate you for all that you did for me. From the pep talks and encouragement to the hugs after each race, no matter how I finished. Thank you, and I love you and miss you dearly. To my mom, Cindy. Mom, if you could stand up. Mom, your endless outpouring of encouragement, support, faith, and love are unmatched. Thank you for instilling confidence and keeping me level-headed and calm at all those competitions. Thank you for checking in on me, for praying for me, for believing in me, and always being right there. You're the best, Mom. I love you beyond words. And finally, to my dad, Wayne. Dad, if you could please stand up. From me to you, Dad, there is no way I could ever come up with the right words to adequately thank you for supporting me throughout my skating career. You immediately saw how much I love speed skating, our shared passion, when you introduced me to the sport at such a young age. You laced up my skates for the very first time, and you guided me through those 15 years of life perfectly. From teaching me basic position, nose, knees, toes, how to sharpen skates, how to care for the equipment that you bought for me. I am so grateful. From keeping track of times, records, who was in my race, my lane position, and how many they were taking on to the next round, 2 in the fastest third. Not to mention leaning over the side of the boards right next to the lap counter, screaming, "Hard, hard, hard," as loud as you could as I skated by. Thanks for putting gas in the car on all of our travels and paying for all those hotel rooms too. But more than anything, Dad, thanks for pushing me so hard to go after my dreams and instilling in me the work ethic and mental toughness to tackle anything that comes my way. I look up to you and love you more than you'll ever know. I love you, Dad. In conclusion, thanks. In conclusion, I just want to say what an incredible honor this induction is and how much this all means to me. This induction is something I am very, very grateful for and will always be proud of, and this moment is one that I will never forget. Sorry for talking so long, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Barry, and congratulations. Our final inductee tonight is the Great Lakes Loons, a high A minor league baseball team headquartered right here in Midland, right here at Dow Diamond. I'll always remember being with MCTV, taking a crew and camera to Valley Plaza to record a big announcement in January 2006. At this news conference, Bill Stravopoulos, chairman of the board of Dow Chemicals, said, "The rumors are true. We are bringing a new sports venue to mid-Michigan." He said construction of a new stadium would start that April, and there were plans for the newly formed Michigan Baseball Foundation, a unique nonprofit venture, to acquire an existing team with the hope of the team starting to play in just over a year later in 2007. And as we know the rest of the story, they made all that happen. And the Great Lakes Loons were born with the team's name being announced in August 2006. An added bonus, the Loons became an affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers, one of the iconic franchises in all of pro sports. Dow Diamond is considered one of the best minor league ballparks in the country and has really contributed, in my opinion, to the concept of the Great Lakes Bay region. On the field, the Loons have developed over 100 Major League Baseball players. The bigger names, 3-time Cy Young Award winner Clayton Kershaw, catcher, first baseman DH Carlos Santana, Kenley Jensen, a catcher here, but an all-star relief pitcher in the majors, and D. Gordon, who won a National League batting title. The Loons have made the playoffs several times and won the Midwest League Championship in 2016, and Dow Diamond has hosted 2 Midwest League All-Star games. Off the field, Dow Diamond and the Michigan Baseball Foundation have become pillars in the region. The MBF has granted over $1.3 million to area nonprofits. And Dow Diamond has hosted high school and college games. We had high school here today. And the concourse in this area in the suites have hosted community events, weddings, receptions, and even some funerals. And the parking lot is now home of the Midland Area Farmers Market. And the lawn of Dow Diamond is now also part of the City of Midland's annual Independence Day celebration on the 4th of July. So it's our pleasure to welcome the Great Lakes Loons tonight as a contributor into the Midland County Sports Hall of Fame. Accepting on the Loons' behalf is Chris Mudhang, President and General Manager. He's been with the Loons since year one.
Thank you, Ron. A big thank you and also congratulations to the other inductees. Just listening to your stories, very incredible at the pinnacle of your sport. I have to be honest, I'm not going to stand up and talk about me being at the pinnacle of my sport. But I know a lot about hot dogs, bobbleheads, and fireworks. Really, on behalf of the Loons, we're both humbled and honored to be inducted into the Midland County Hall of Fame. For us, it's really all about the recognition and what we've been able to do, impacting the community, the contributions here, not just in Midland County, but really across the Great Lakes Bay region. As Ron had mentioned earlier, the NBF, our founder and CEO, Bill Stavropoulos, he had a vision for bringing professional baseball to Midland. But that vision was really about more than baseball. He wanted to utilize America's pastime to create a social enterprise that supports and benefits nonprofits, to build a best-in-class facility, really to support our community, to drive and contribute to economic development in downtown Midland, and really to be a premier place for minor league player development. I will say I've been here since our inception. Feel very fortunate to have been here since day one, but our staff really commit and work tirelessly to really drive and deliver on that vision. And it's all grounded in service excellence, creating memorable experiences for our guests, and at the end of the day, including everyone as Loons family. We're a baseball team, and when you think of baseball, it's really about getting results on the field. But intertwined with that are the individual and team stats that really drive and bear out the results on the field. So I'm going to spend a few moments just sharing some of the stats that we're most proud of. $23 million. That's the annual economic development impact throughout the region from folks coming to Loons baseball games and attending special events at Dow Diamond. 3.6 million. That's the number of people that have flocked to Dow Diamond for Loons baseball since our inception in 2007. $1.47 million and 353. That's the dollar amount and the total number of grants that have been awarded by NBF since 2008 to other nonprofits throughout the region, utilizing the financial success of Loons baseball for charitable giving. This is one that is new, but I love it. 50,000. That's the number of children that have participated in the Loons reading program since we launched it in 2022. 7,000. That's the number of, we call them volunteer. It's not volunteering, it's volunteering. That's the number of hours that our people have committed back out in the community for service projects and serving on boards of nonprofits since 2007. 342. That is how many total amateur high school and college baseball games we've hosted here at Dow Diamond since '07. 42, that's the number of free youth baseball clinics that our players have volunteered their time to get youth engaged and interested in the game of baseball. Last and not least is 112. That's the number of former Loons players that have achieved their dream of playing Major League Baseball. So those are some of the stats that we think of. We really consider ourselves an entertainment company. We're really designed to entertain our guests, create experiences, create value, and then utilize the success that we generate to give back to the community. So again, I would say thank you. We are genuinely humbled and honored to be part of this year's class. And I would like to thank Dave Marsh, who up front took a few moments to share some great words about Jerry O'Donnell. I know how much he would love to be here tonight. Know that we love you, Jerry. You're the man. In closing, just know whether you come to a Loons game, if you go to the Midland Area Farmers Market, if you go to an amateur baseball game or a special event here at Dow Diamond, know that we'll be excited to see you. We'll try our darndest to create a memorable experience, and just know we will always welcome everyone here as Loons family. So thank you, and I just genuinely appreciate all the support that our organization has had from Midland and truly the Great Lakes Bay region that's made us successful. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you to all of the inductees. It's our honor to honor you. So let's hear it again for this year's inductees one more time. Now, after the ceremony, we'd like to have the new members of the Hall of Fame come up here for photos. Please bring your plaque. And a reminder, please take a few minutes to walk through the Hall of Fame on the landing on the main concourse. As Jerry used to say, take the elevator, press button number 2, and go to your right. And if not tonight, then definitely when you attend a Loons game or other community event. Our next induction ceremony, the 32nd, will be held in 2 years. So start thinking about who you'd like to nominate to become a member of the Hall of Fame. There's a form available on the Capitol Committee's website. Please submit the nomination by November 2025 and track down Marcy if you have questions. And finally, in keeping with tradition and to honor Jerry O'Donnell, as you heard, the Loons' longtime PA announcer and MC for this event, we remind you it's Loons baseball time. Plenty of good seats available. Call 989-837-BALL or go online to loons.com. Thank you and good night.